Assalamu alaikum, my name is Nour. I am doing a video for my friend Fairy. She wants me to recognize the hijab and what it means to me. And right now I can just say that hijab is my choice. Wearing the hijab, being called a hijabi or non-hijabi, or little or skinny or fat or big, like these are all just labels that we just put so we can group people and categorize us. But I'm not in a category because I ain't your regular.
What is hijab? Hijab is a commandment by God, not only given to Muslims, but given to the Jews and the Christians as well.
My hijab represents my modesty, my respect, my honor, my sisterhood.
What the hijab means to me is covering my hair, dressing up modestly, and conducting my life in a way that God has commanded me to conduct my life as a woman.
Assalamu alaikum. Hijab means many things to me, such as submission to Allah, protection, guidance. But I think the most important thing for me, especially when I first started to wear hijab, is that it meant a sense of belonging into a faith and a group. That it's amazing how a religion combined people of different races, different religions, different cultures, and how this piece of cloth means so much to many Muslim cultures across the world. We are so unified, but we are still our individual selves. For example, if you look at the hijab that's worn in the UK by all the blends of different Muslims you have from different ethnicities, different nationalities, and then if you look at hijab that's worn in different cultures in West Africa, different cultures in the Middle East, different cultures in the Far East, in countries like India, hijab is so varied, but it still serves one principle, which kind of shows it's kind of symbolic of the central message of Islam, which is Tawheed.
Why do I wear hijab? In today's society, there are so many different sexualized images of women being pushed at us constantly, whether it's on social media, TV, magazines, or even out on the street. It's constantly being pushed in our direction.
It's the reason why when I walk down the street, another sister says salams. It represents my empowerment, my choice, my control over who I allow to see my body and who I don't.
Hijab does not only give women the freedom to be themselves, but it gives them the self-respect to be respected as a person who has thoughts and feelings, and not just a woman who's a sexualized image. People in the world say that women who wear hijab are oppressed, but I'm here to say we are very much free. Only when I began to wear the hijab, I began to feel free. Allah had given me the gift of not only loving my hijab, but allowing me to see life for what it really was. And that was stepping outside of the rat race of trying to keep up with whatever the latest trends were, from hairstyle to fashion to whatever it was. When I stepped out of that rat race of life, did I truly understand? When did I truly begin to love myself? When I began to love myself, did I realize hijab was not a commandment so that men don't have to look at you like some prey, and that we must be covered up so that men could be protected. This wasn't a favoritism towards men. It was a gift to women to let you be free, to let you be respected. See, when men look at you like a piece of meat, you're no longer free. You're actually being looked at as no longer a human being, but as an object. But only when you cover it up are you allowing yourself to be free.
So to be honest, I didn't originally put on the hijab because I even knew what it was. I just put it on because my mom and my sister, like literally every female in my family wears the hijab, and I was like, yo, I want to be a part of this club. Like I want to put it on too. But then as I started growing up and I started like researching it, and like now I wear it because it reminds me of like the type of person I should be. Because let's be real, like when I approach someone who's never met me before, or even people who know me, the first thing they notice about me is my hijab. Like right off the bat, they notice my hijab. And so automatically whatever I say is gonna represent hijabis. And so like if I'm out here like being like a drug dealer and like being a terrible person, like they're gonna assume that every hijabi is like that, because maybe I'm the first and last hijabi that they'll ever meet in their life. Like you never know. Or maybe I'm the first hijabi that they're having a face-to-face conversation with, and then the next time they meet another hijabi, they're automatically gonna make assumptions about her because of what I did. So I have like a big role of like not being an idiot to people.
I think above all things, hijab to me signifies Tawheed, of course, the oneness of Allah, and a sense of belonging, where I belong culturally, religiously, regardless of my race, my ethnicity, and my nationality.
Why I wear the hijab is because I have a final destination or end goal that I want to reach after this life. And the only way I know I can reach that goal is by conducting myself in a certain manner that God has conducted me to run my life. Therefore, whenever I look at myself in the mirror with my hijab on, it always reminds me that I shouldn't really be doing this, or I shouldn't be speaking in this way. I should respect the people that I'm talking to in a certain way because I have the hijab on. Therefore, the people I am talking to, of course, also do look up highly to me, and they also expect me to act in a certain way. So that also gives me the extra motivation to be a better person.
The hijab helps me to remember to like be a good person, be nice to anyone I meet, like keep my head cool, just like it's like how people get like tattoos to remind them of things that they want to be or things that they want to forever remember, like quotes and stuff. That's like what my hijab does for me. It reminds me of the type of person that I should always strive to be. And yeah, that's what the hijab means to me.
Hijab has been nothing but a beautiful gift given to me, has empowered me in so many ways, and has given me the freedom. Hijab has allowed me to be who I really am.
Hijab is it's my sacrifice that I feel that I'm doing for God, Like, I love it. I love doing it. It's just one of those sacrifices that you're like, okay, God, you want me to do this? أنت بتعرف أحسن من أنا اللي بعرف. You know better than I know. So you saying, I believe in your oneness, then I believe in your oneness, and I believe in the hijab. So I believe in it, and that's just me, at the end of the day, I look at it as how do I want to look when I step out of my house, because it's just about my own representation of modesty, how much I want to cover, how much I don't want to cover. So at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna go outside, are you okay with how you look? Whoever you are, however you do it. And then you have to be happy with your decision. You have to accept yourself at whatever stage you're at and be happy that you're at that stage and accept it. So when it's time to go to the next stage, you're like, I'm at the next one.
My name is Hayat Beyene, and I'm here to tell you about my journey with the hijab. So I'm a part of an Ethiopian community here in East Houston, and everyone's around the same age, and there's a couple that had been wearing hijab way before me, like several of them, I believe. And as time passed, I wasn't really worried about the hijab. Unless I went to Sunday school, I wasn't really worried about it. So it was like when I go to school, I'm a normal non-hijabi, and then once it's Sunday school, of course, you got to put it on. So right before high school started, I was in middle school, I believe. I was in 8th grade. I remember everyone was like they started pressuring people, like, oh, not pressuring, but like more like, oh, so when are you gonna wear the hijab? When are you gonna wear it? Oh, are you gonna wear it here? What, this year? Is it next year? And one of my friends' mom, like one of my mom's best friends, one day we were at the mall together, and she goes, when are you gonna start wearing your hijab? Like, if you're my daughter, you would have been wearing it by now. And I'm just like, okay, what does that have to do with me? But then, like, little by little, as time passed, like, that would get to my head, like, should I be wearing it, or let me just get it over with so people can just stop breathing down my neck about it. And high school came, and I knew that, and I felt like, I don't know why, but I had the notion that if I start in college, that's going to be way too late. I'm already an adult, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, let me just start in high school, because I don't want to start in the middle, because it would look weird if all of a sudden I go to school, everyone knows what my hair looks like in the middle of high school. Everyone's like, what you got in your hair, girl? What do you... Like, no, like, I feel like it just doesn't make sense. I mean, there's people that do that. It's completely fine. It's just, for me, I just feel, I guess, awkward. Like, almost as if it's kind of makes it moot. Even though I know that hijab is, like, that has nothing to do with, like, just because I saw your hair. Obviously, people who saw my hair in middle school already know what it looks like. But, I don't know. It's just different. So, I was like, you know what? get these people off my back. I started in 9th grade. Then I wore it for all of high school. I mean, I haven't taken it off since. And as time passed, I just became accustomed to it. I just became used to it. Like, you know, I mean, of course, there was times where, like, if I went to the water park, I would take it off. Like, my mom knew. My mom was like, okay, just take it off. Because she knew I didn't necessarily start off on my own accord. So, but then eventually I was like, you know, let me just take it seriously. I'm grown. Let me act grown. Let me take it seriously. And I already know, and this is what, like, part of, like, Islam, like, it's what's asked of us by God. So I know you're going to have to do it eventually. So I might as well start it now. So, and then now I'm like, oh, okay, I got my hijab on. And they're so pretty though. Like, this color, like, oh my God. Like, it's so much fun talking about it too with other people that don't know what it is. And I'm like, I got this color, I got this color, I got this color. Girl, I got this one with patterns, I got this color with patterns. You know, so now it's, you know, it's fun. I feel like it's fun now. I have, like, I mean, there's people that decide, like, oh, when they're married they'll take it off, but some people just wear it, you know, since their parents is, like, under my house, under my, like, roof, you're wearing a hijab. But me, as of right now, I don't have any intention of taking it off. So as of right now, I'm completely satisfied and content with wearing the hijab.
Guys, my name is Fatima, and today I'm going to be talking about this thing on my head called a scarf. I started fully, honest to God, wearing it for my own purpose, maybe 2017. Yeah, I recently started wearing it for me. When I was younger, my mom and dad, they had me wearing it. Like, you'll see pictures when I was under 2 and I had a little cute scarf on. But then I just started wearing a turban until about 6. I think 6 or 7, my mom told me that one day I came up to her and was like, I want to wear a scarf like you do. And she wears, like, the full scarf. And so ever since then, 6 or 7, I just started wearing it. It was never my choice. I mean, I guess at that age it was my choice, but you don't really know what you're asking for. You're just a little kid. And so from 6 or 7 up until my whole life, I've just been wearing it. But not, I guess, happily. I mean, I was doing it because, hey, that's all I knew. And in elementary school, so many people would be like, are you going to take it off in college? Are you going to take it off in college? Even middle school, they were like, I had teachers come up to me, I'm pretty sure you're going to take that off when you're in college. Even high school people and adults, teachers, you're probably going to take that off when you're older. Guess what happened, my friends? I took it off when I was older. So I started wearing turbans at about, well, no, I'll just go back. My first time actually just taking it off and going outside with it was when I was 14. My friends pressured me. We were all going to the beach. They were like, just take it off, just take it off. So I took it off. And I felt so exposed and so weird. So many people were looking at me. I was just like, oh my God. But I mean, obviously, if you have your head wrapped up for years, you're obviously going to feel naked and weird when you take it off. And so, yeah, I continued wearing it. It was just that one day that I didn't wear it. But then in college, my second year of college, I kind of lost myself and I was just doing whatever the heck I wanted. So from 18 to 20, I was just wearing turbans. Like, I would wear my scarf when I was at home. My parents didn't know that I wore a turban outside. Like, everywhere I was just wearing turbans. Even jobs, let's say I was at a job for a year and a half, they only saw me in a turban. They didn't even know I wore a scarf. They just thought I was a turban girl. But recently I have started to find myself and I started wearing, like, you'll see me wearing a turban every now and again, but it's not, like, I was wearing it because I felt like I was doing so much in my life that was not lined up with Islam, and I was just like, why are you wearing a scarf if you do literally everything in the book? What purpose is it? And so I was conflicted, so conflicted in life, but I still had to wear it because when I went home at night, I lived with my parents, so I had to put it back on. But now I'm married, I live on my own, and I know why we're supposed to wear it, for modesty, and not just for that. I feel when I'm wearing my scarf, I just feel like it's me. It's who I was when I was younger, but it's really me because I'm older now. I'm conscious. I'm aware of things. I know I'm supposed to wear it. I just feel good. Like, I felt awkward though sometimes. Like, people look at you, they give you those looks. I'm not saying that wearing a scarf is just like, I'm a superhero now, I can do whatever I want. No, you're still gonna get those weird looks from people. Sometimes I just feel like I don't know how to put it into words what I feel, but I just feel off. But at the end of the day, when I go home wearing my scarf, I'm happy. I'm just like, Fatima, you did it. You are finally doing something that you're supposed to do in your religion for you, not because mom, dad, brother, uncle, cousin, they're telling you to do it. You're honestly doing it for you, so you're gonna start to just love it. Like, I know I'm not wearing it the perfect way. I should have my neck covered and everything. I'm getting there, okay? Slowly but surely, I'm taking baby steps. I'm comfortable right now. Sometimes I won't have my neck entirely out, but this is how I wear my hijab. Maybe one day I'll wear it the correct way, but I feel like there's not a correct way to wear it. You wear it how you feel comfortable, how you feel comfortable in it. That's just how you should be wearing your hijab. So that's my story. I guess obviously I can elaborate a lot more, but it wasn't always peachy perfect wearing my hijab. It's still not peachy perfect. Some days I wake up and let's say it's like hot as heck outside. I'm just like, I gotta put my scarf on. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I don't have to do my hair every day. So that's good. That's an awesome part.
Hello everyone, my name is Ruqayyah and I want to talk to you about why I started wearing my hijab. I started in 6th grade and I did so because my parents told me to. At that time, I didn't really understand why I was wearing it. I was just doing whatever my parents told me. I mean, I understand it a little bit better now than I did before. But I also, at the same time, I also still don't understand. I don't completely understand. I understand it like, I would say like 50%, but not like 100% or anything like that. I don't know everything 100%. I continue to wear it because I still want to like actually understand it. Like a lot of girls, they don't wear hijab when, you know, they're a lot younger, and then when they get older they begin hijab on their own, and they do it because they actually want to, and it actually comes from their heart. I find that very inspiring, and I wish I had that kind of heart to, you know, just do it like myself, because I want to better myself. And that's how I see those other girls when they start wearing hijab on their own. Hi everyone, Eashrak Zubair here, and today I'm going to talk about my hijab in order of World Hijab Day. I started wearing hijab right after I finished high school. Like, it was during the summer, right after graduation. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but I didn't really, well, I didn't really start it because there was no prime time for me, like when should I start it, or there was no push for me. I was never forced to wear hijab. No one in my family wears hijab, so it wasn't like, you know, it's like a forced thing, and hijab should never be a forced thing. It should be something that you want, like, you know, whenever you're ready, if you're ready. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. If you want to wear it, then, you know, that's your thing. And that's what I did. I wanted to wear it, like, from myself. No one in my family, like, they didn't even take me seriously when I first started wearing hijab. The moment when I knew that I wanted to start it, from that moment on, it was, I had these friends in high school. They used to wear hijab, like 2 of them. They used to wear hijabs, and they were very inspiring to me. They were really good Muslims. I'm sure they still are. They used to inspire me, and I used to be the person, like, way back when in high school, like 10th grade maybe, I used to say, oh my god, don't you get hot? Like, you know, oh, are you sure? Like, you know, are you being forced to wear hijab? Like, I remember me asking those questions to some of my friends. It's crazy, right? And so that was me back then. But then over the years, they inspired me. I used to tell them, like, you know, like, slowly, like, I decided that I wanted to wear it, and then at one point I used to tell them that, okay, I want to start wearing hijab. And then one day after graduation, it was like a few days after graduation, one night one of those 2 friends texted me, and she was like, yeah, look, we were talking about hijab in general, and she was like, hey, so what's stopping you now? And then that night, like, I remember specifically, I was laying in my bed, I was texting her, and at that moment, I thought to myself, I was like, yeah, exactly, what's stopping me? Nothing's stopping me. Like, why am I not wearing it? I want to, like, there's nothing in my way. And so that was it. Next time I went out of my house, I wore a hijab, and I didn't know how to wear a hijab. No one in my family knew, so they didn't even take me seriously. So no one showed me. My friend video called me, and she tried to show me, and I poked myself with the pin. It was so funny. And then, like, after so many pokes and so many YouTube videos, I still don't know how to wear a hijab, and it has been
like 3 years, and but I tried. That's, you gotta keep trying. Someday I'm gonna be perfect at wearing hijab. Someday my hair is not gonna show and I won't have to do this every 2 seconds, but that's gonna happen, okay? Just, have patience. Anyway, that's my story on how I started wearing hijab, and the reason why is because it's religious.
I started wearing the hijab when I was about 12, 13 years old, and it was entirely my choice. My parents didn't tell me to. In fact, my family was actually against it, and it wasn't until I was like in high school, like at the end of senior year or something, that they came to terms with it and made peace with it, but they're still kind of against it, to be honest. When I first moved to the United States, I was so afraid with what Americans would think. I heard that Americans didn't like Muslims and hijabis, and I was so afraid that I took it off for 6 months of my first stay here. That was possibly one of the worst choices that I've ever made, but it made me learn that it's safe to wear the hijab in America, largely, and that you should do it anyways because you believe in it. The hijab is, to me, a physical manifestation of what I believe and what I'm trying to achieve, which is being a good Muslim. It's my reminder to be a better person using Islam every day. It's not that I want to portray this character of being a very Islamical lady and that I am this perfect person that people should look up to. I'm not representing Islam in any way when I wear this hijab, as much as people would tell me that it is. That is because, again, like, I'm not a perfect Muslim, so it's borderline wrong for me to say that. A very flawed person, I'm carrying the name of this great religion that is absolutely beyond me. And like I said, it's just for me.
My name is Kawther Alli. Today we're going to talk about my hijab story. I started doing hijab from an early age, and it was a bit easy for me to start doing hijab because I went to like a religious school. So that really helped me a lot, and I continued wearing hijab outside, and now hijab has become like a really huge part of my life. My advice would be just seek resources. Maybe you can talk to some sisters who are older than you that go to your mosque, or girls that are who do hijab, and maybe you can ask them questions. Joining a group of girls would help your struggle with hijab, and you can just learn more about hijab and study about it, find out information, and look up like videos for different styles of hijab. Try to incorporate your personality into the way you wear hijab. I don't really have a story where I became I was bullied for hijab, but I faced some comments from girls that didn't do hijab. It was just because you have like Muslim women, they're portrayed in like the media, with a certain stereotype. So I think those girls were getting the wrong idea about it, and it was just like a misconception that they had. And I guess part of it was because they were struggling to do it. I think they viewed it as something you're forced to do, and I guess they thought it was like a boring choice. I would hear like these girls go like, yeah, we'll start it when we're old.
For those girls out there struggling with hijab, if you have to take it off, take it off. If that is what gives you meaning, like you need to find a way or find what works for you. Some people have to take it off until they put it back on. Some people are going to take it off and they never put it back on. Whatever floats your boat. I had to go through my own crazy life of wearing a turban, not wearing it at all. Some days I would just literally go outside, do whatever I have to do, and then go back home, put it back on. Those are horrible. I felt horrible. So now at least I don't feel horrible about life. I feel like I'm wearing it because I honestly want to wear it. So that's all I have to say. Hopefully my part can help someone out there.
You're always gonna struggle with hijab. I still struggle with hijab. I've been wearing it for like the past 15 years or so, 15, 20 years or so. I still wear it. I don't think I should just take it off because I think I might be too ugly, or some guy wouldn't want to marry me because I'm wearing it,
if a guy isn't gonna accept you because you're wearing hijab, then bye Felicia to him. Because if he wants you to change and he's not accepting you for the way you are, then he's not worth it. But if you're struggling to wear hijab because, you know, you don't really understand it, like me, like how I was, eventually you'll learn, you'll get there, and you'll find out, you know, that you're wearing hijab not for other people. You're wearing it because you want to please Allah, you want to please God. Because one of his commands is to cover yourself, to be closer to him. But you also have to do it like from your heart. If you're being bullied for wearing hijab and you find that the only way to end this bullying is to take your hijab off, for whatever reason, I would encourage you to continue wearing hijab. And when you do it, and when you wear hijab, be comfortable with yourself. You don't have to let all your insecurities get in the way. Wear your hijab like it's your crown. Okay, it's royalty. If you think of your hijab like, you know, it's an honor, then you won't feel so insecure, and it'll make you more confident in yourself. Just own it and work it, girl. An advice I have for people who get bullied on the daily or who are afraid of wearing their hijab, I would say just own up to your hijab. And it's something, the way I see it, it's something like something you can't change. Like, I'm a girl, I can't change that. Or I'm Bengali, I can't change that. Or I'm brown, I can't change that. So it's like, think of hijab, or because hijab is something you're doing. If you're doing it because of religious reasons, you're doing this because of Allah. And religion is something you can't change. Like, if you feel the love of Allah from within, then, you know, you can't change that. And so hijab is just like that. You can't change that. So I would just say own up to it. If you want to wear it, flaunt it. Like, wear colorful hijabs, you know, be you. And if you don't want to wear it, then that's your choice. And if you get bullied, then you have resources. You should speak up, and you should get the help available to you to speak against bullies. Don't let the bullies win, because if they do it to you, they're doing it to other people, and they're going to keep doing it. So someone has to put a stop to it. Take a stand and, you know, own your hijab. That's just how it should be. That's all I have to say.
So if you're out there, like, you're currently scared of the socio-political climate, and you feel like you're not safe to wear it, it's absolutely your choice to wear it or not to wear it. Again, the hijab is only between you and Allah. It's not between you or your family or anybody else. It's about you and your connection to God. And if you feel like you want to take it off, just look deeply inside yourself and ask why you want to wear it or why you don't want to wear it, and not because the outside tells you or not. And because if anybody tells you that you look ugly when wearing the hijab, just know that they're not thinking that you're ugly because you're wearing the hijab. They're just thinking that you're ugly because society's standards of beauty told them to think that you're ugly with the hijab. So try to understand where people are coming from, so that way you can be more resilient to their fire-fueled, meaningless words. And then that way you can be more stronger and resilient in your beliefs and understand the main purpose of wearing your hijab. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
My advice would be, if you're struggling wearing the hijab, just keep going on it and talking to like older sisters or like ladies who are wearing the hijab, and talk to them about how you can stop struggling. And I guess just be confident in yourself, and learn more about the hijab will help you, it would help you struggle less. And just learn more about, incorporate it as part of your personality. Bye. Hope this helps for anyone that's struggling.
What I would advise those girls who struggle or who are scared to wear the hijab is that the hijab is not just simply covering your hair or dressing up modestly. It is also in the way that you talk and treat others. So conduct your life in a more sensible way, and that way it will be a lot easier to cover your hair. Think about your final destination, your end goal, and think about how life is very short, and the afterlife is going to be a lot longer than this life, and it's going to all be worth it to change the little things that you do, to speak nicer to people, to just be more polite and to treat your elders nicely. And I'm pretty sure you understand, the whole outline on how it is to be a good human. So as long as you are being a good, faithful woman, hopefully will not be hard to put on the hijab. And at the same time, if you're someone like me who lives in the West and who is scared about the political situation or what others might think of you as a Muslim woman, you can just try and alter your hijab. Not that you have to, but if you're really that nervous or that scared, you can always alter your hijab by just dressing up modestly and putting on a turban that can at least cover your hair or your ears, and after that things will become a lot easier. So those would be my tips personally.
بس بدكم أحكي لكم إياهم في العربي بحاول. الحجاب عنده حياة، واحد ما بيعرف يفهم أو يغطي أو بس من الله. الله بحطه في قلبنا نلبس الحجاب، ومرات واحد بيطلع على واحد وبفكر أحسن من الثاني، بس لا، الله بيفتح لنا الباب صح، والله بيسكر الباب. اللهم اهدنا في من هديت وعافينا في من عافيت. آمين، اللهم آمين. May you guys receive this in good health. Thank you, and forgive me for any shortcomings.